So first of all, I would want to know about this whole question of devolution, and there is, the Northern Provincial Council that's been set up, and do you really think there's political will in Colombo to give the kind of devolution that is being talked about that would be to the satisfaction of a majority of the Tamils?
First of all, the Tamils never asked for devolution. Okay, the Tamils asked for an independent state because in the existing political environment, the Tamils cannot realize their right in any way. This is even corroborated by the UN expert panel report. In the report, the experts clearly state within the existing environment, Tamils can't get justice. Mm-hmm. So first, in our belief, the TGT firmly believe that the Tamils can secure their rights. The way for the Tamils to live peacefully and with security and dignity, that can only happen within an independent, sovereign, independent state. Mm-hmm. Having said that, the devolution is even some of the actors are now calling it is on the basis of an internal self-determination. Mm-hmm. I would argue that it is not even on the basis of internal self-determination because the essence of internal self-determination, the main feature of internal self-determination is power sharing at the center. There is no power sharing at the center. There is no discourse on power sharing at the center. And we are simply talking about devolution. And it's, as you say, devolution, what powers are devolved can be reverted back. And the Supreme Court has repeatedly said that it is a unitary state, where the legislative powers or where the executive power, all powers rest with a government. And there was a perception, I would call it as a misrepresentation that the land powers and police powers are given in the 13th Amendment. That's not the case. If you look at the accord in 1986, late Mr. Apapala Amadalingam, the leader of the Tamil United Liberation Front, a moderate group, they rejected the accord primarily on the ground because there was no land power. So for us, there's no power at all. So we live, and whether the Sinhala government has a political will or not, history will tell you. History is our guide. So we believe that this is not going to solve the Tamils problem in any manner. However, it can be utilized to demonstrate the contradictions between the Sinhala chauvinism and the Tamil nationalism to the international community. Mm-hmm. This body can be used to articulate the will of the Tamil people. Similarly, the Chief Minister Jayalalitha has passed a resolution calling for a referendum. Those things, similar things, can be done by this body. That's mm-hmm. all I think. That's the only thing that can that will be beneficial mm-hmm. to the Tamil nation through this body.
Okay. Now the new Chief Minister of the Northern Province, the statements that he's been making about asking the Tamil Nadu parties to keep out of the discourse that's happening on the island. How do you see this? It appears a little farcical in light of what you're saying.
I would characterize it as an aberration or an isolated statement. The Tamils, the Ulam Tamils, always we identify with the Tamil Nadu Tamils. We consider them as our kith and kin. And in fact, we consider them as our main strength. And there's actually a book that the key to Tamil Ulam is in Chennai. So we believe with the Tamil Nadu, with the mobilization of the Tamil Nadu, with the strength of the Tamil Nadu, through their activities, we can change the foreign policy of the Indian government. The domestic polity can play an important role, and with respect to the Indian domestic polity, Tamil Nadu plays a very important role. So today in my speech, I thank Ms. Jayalalitha for passing a resolution calling for a referendum and asking Indian government not to attend the Commonwealth Summit. We also thank Tholar Tiahu for his activism. So we always identify with the Tamil Nadu and we consider them as our main strength.
Mm-hmm. Now coming to this point about the Chogam, the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Colombo, the back and forth that's happening in India, the Prime Minister should go, shouldn't go. First he says that he will go and then the Congress gives him permission to go. How do you see these internal contradictions?
It's very unfortunate. I think India is as a tradition. India is a moral power. India is a superpower in that region. India should take the leadership role. India should facilitate or India should be a follower. You take the HRC, the Human Rights Council. India wait till with the last moment and join the bandwagon. It shouldn't be that way. In fact, before the HRC session, we had a press conference in India. Then this was the view I expressed, that India should be in the driving state. India should be the driver in this whole thing, like the Chogam. India has to make a decision whether other countries, not about whether India is going to attend, whether other countries should attend or not. India has to make a decision. Unfortunately, that moral courage is missing, is lacking in the foreign policy quarters in India.
Mm-hmm. There's also an argument about how if India leaves that space, that vacuum is going to be filled by the Chinese. What is your view on that?
It can be. I think as we believe, first of all, the war is being depicted by some scholars as a war against India. The Sinhalese war against India. Sinhalese view the Tamils as an extension of India. So even though the foreign policy pundits in Delhi call India, Sri Lanka as a friendly country, that is not so. That is not correct. Only the Tamils are the friendly powers of India. So the argument that if India leaves, China comes. So even now, China is already there. The Hambantota, China's influence, China's harbor is there, and it's openly acknowledged by the Indian Foreign Secretary here at a conference that we don't have the leverage we used to have. That is a fact. So whether India leaves, India boycotts the summit or not, it's not going to make any difference. Even if India goes, the Sinhala government has clearly shown to the Indian government and the world where they are going. They are in a Euro-Asia alliance. They are with Russia, China, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka is in that group. So for India to maintain any kind of influence in the island of Sri Lanka, to ensure her geopolitical interest, I think India has to support the Tamil political interest, the Tamil political demands.
Okay. The other thing is about the Tamil diaspora. There is there are a lot of it's a fractious lot. There are too many groups that are talking in too many voices. How big an impediment has that been in the?
I would say, first of all, I don't think that many groups are talking in different voices. If you look at the main Tamil groups, Tamil diaspora groups, all main diaspora groups are calling for an independent state. All Tamil mainstream Tamil diaspora groups, and you look at the means what they have chosen. All the Tamil groups are now talking, saying that we realize our goal through diplomatic political means. So I don't see a big division in the diaspora. Of course, there are groups are there. My take on it, these are personal differences, and I think the time will heal it. I think so. I don't consider it as a big thing. But if we are unified, we can be more powerful. Because say if we are organizing a protest or we are organizing a political action, if we all participate together, we'll make a big impact. In fact, a lot of sociologists have said that next to the Jews, the Elam Tamil diaspora is a very resourceful diaspora. So if we are unified on this modus operandi, I think we will be a very powerful force.
Okay, and given that there is the whole process that India is also involved in through the back channels and what have you, what is your message to the Indian Foreign Office?
They have to reevaluate their foreign policy. They have to drop this fantasy that Sri Lanka is their friendly country. It is not so, as I said earlier. And during the war with Pakistan, the Sri Lanka allowed Pakistani planes to land and refuel. So in Sri Lanka, it's not their friendly country. So, and also they've been saying that the Tamil national struggle is a threat to India's territorial integrity. I think that's another fiction. I think that's another fiction. We firmly, categorically state that Tamil national struggle is not a threat to India's territorial integrity. India supported the creation of Bangladesh based on on the notion of remedial self-determination, which we are claiming now. When India created Bangladesh, West Bengal did not secede from India. So this is a paranoia. I think they think that it will be a greater Tamil. I think that they should give up. They should drop that fear, and they had to consider Tamils as a natural allies. In fact, even the LTT recognized India's supremacy in the region. No one in the Tamil nation questioned the India's supremacy in the island, in the Indian Ocean or in South Asia. So we want India to start from a clean slate, okay, to reevaluate the whole thing, to take into consideration what's happening, the growing Chinese influence and the importance of Indian Ocean, and even President Obama's the new policy of pivot to Asia. So you take all these things into consideration, and India has to has to formulate a new foreign policy. That's what we've been asking, because it gives an impression that India doesn't have a foreign policy and acting on an ad hoc manner. I think that's not good for India itself, I think.
Okay. About the the war crimes and the genocide that was perpetrated, it's been 4 years and it still seems to be at a very slow pace. How do you see the outcome for this?
We are confident that justice will be done. We are making traction because these things takes time. The international process takes time. But the first time we got that the last year resolution, even though it did not satisfy our expectation, that was a significant step. That was the first defeat to the government of Sri Lanka in the international arena. So we think our view is that we are making progress. So we are not only relying on international forums, we are also exploring the possibility of bringing this action in domestic courts in various countries, invoking the universal jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. So we are trying to have our strategies working on many fronts, and we feel confident that justice will be done. Even Mr. Vigneswaran said, I have to quote him, he said that as a former judge, he wants to ensure that guilty are punished. Mm-hmm. So we hope that will happen.
Okay, and on India's role at Geneva and other fora, when there is a move from Tamil Nadu, that's when there's a U-turn that happens. How do you view these U-turns that happen pretty much towards the end after the pressure from
that's what I think is it's not a welcome, it's not a healthy one, and especially for a country like India. It's not a healthy one. You make a decision at the last moment due to domestic pressure. But of course, I understand that the domestic the domestic views, the domestic politics views should play an important role. But these things should be taken in account in advance, not at the last moment. It seems to be that giving an impression. I hope it is not that you are sitting on the fence and you don't know where to jump. And this is what you don't expect from a country that pre-Panchasila and Chanakya and all other things. So we hope India should have a masculine foreign policy.
Mm-hmm. Also, my last question is about the statements that are coming from the current Chief Minister, Mr. Vigneswaran. They've are almost on the same templates as what the Mandarins at India's Foreign Office. It's the same tone that's coming through there. How do you see this track of diplomacy that India has been following, which bypasses Tamil Nadu in some senses, directly trying to,
No, but I must say that even the TNA itself has distanced itself from Mr. Vigneswaran's comments. So I would view it as a personal comments, and I don't think that...
No, not just at the comments level, but also the remote control direction, in the sense that it's bypassing Tamil Nadu, it's going direct there. I mean, are all the stakeholders are not involved, it's just selectively...
It seems to be one person or two, three persons, as you said. But again, all I can say, if India adopts that track, I don't think that's healthy for either for the Tamils or for India itself. If you just try to play to politics, to set your policy based on an individual, not on the basis of your strategic interest, not on the basis of justice, not on the basis of human rights, I don't think that will serve anybody.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.